Hello, this is Tony, the Tonester Mitchell, and you're about to watch an interview I did with Nathan Zadworny. It's been a couple months ago now, and at the time, he had only released one product, but depending on when you're watching this, he will have released more since then. I know right now he's released two and is working on his third. So just letting you know that at the time he was new to that success, and I think you'll find the interview very informative. All right, so watch and much success. Hi Nathan, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Tony. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being on the call today. I wanted to talk to you today because I saw your name on various internet marketing boards, and you recently had a product launch that was very successful, and I really liked your story, and I thought it could probably help to motivate some other people. I know that lots of people go through problems or issues making money online, and you've probably had your own and you overcame those and had a really good product launch. So I wanted to hopefully tell your story so others will get motivated and be able to succeed as well. So
Sounds great. Sounds great. I'm happy to help out in any way that I can.
good. Why don't we start by telling me about yourself? First of all, how do you pronounce your last name?
Zadworny, just
Zad
like it's spelled.
Zadworny. Yeah,
Zadworny, you got it. It's
I
just
kind
the Z or the Z throws people off a little bit.
of. So you live in British Columbia then?
Yeah, I do. I live in Victoria, BC, which is the capital city of BC, on the basically on the farthest west in Canada that you can get.
I see. Yeah, I've never been out there, but I've always wanted to visit. I'm a skier. I've heard about Whistler and all those places up there. I don't know if you're close to there or not or whatever, but
Yeah, I've been to Whistler. I'm actually on Vancouver Island,
oh,
which
okay,
is yep, yep.
cool.
So I'd have to take a ferry to get to Whistler, but
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
yeah, I've heard. Let's go into. I'm curious about your background, how you got into internet marketing, and how all that started.
Okay. Wow, where do I start? I got into I became aware of internet marketing and became interested in internet marketing in 2009-ish. Wasn't really doing much with it, was just interested in the whole idea of learning how to make a second income. Didn't really jump in until around mid 2010, late 2010, and then in 2011 I released a couple of small products on the Warrior Forum. They didn't do super well, but kind of, started to get a couple of products under my belt. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to sustain any kind of momentum, and so I left for a couple of years, and then I came back. I came back last year.
Okay. So I know the Warrior Forum in 2010 was probably a lot different than it is now, and there's a lot of talk about changes on there recently. I don't know if it was, I've heard it was easier back then to sell products. It's a little bit more difficult now, but there are ways to do it, and that's what I hope we can get into.
Sure, that would be
So,
great.
yeah, so you said that you got out of it a little bit because you just weren't having a lot of success. Did you have a job?
I still do have a job,
Okay,
Tony.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to continue to maintain their jobs until they can afford to leave their jobs. I think there's a lot of talk about jobs being the devil, and I don't know about anybody else, but my job pays my rent, and I'm happy to continue to have a job until this venture becomes completely successful for me. So
Yeah,
yeah, and the reason that I had to leave internet marketing actually in the middle of 2011 was because I didn't have a job and I had to go find myself a job.
yeah, very familiar story. And I think it's important for people to know if they're just getting into it that despite all the get rich quick things that you hear, it's really not. It's just, I feel like it's just like any other business that you would start, even if it's a brick and mortar business. You
Oh,
start it and everything takes time to build up and to snowball. You know, you can't really have success in any business unless people, I always say this, unless people know, like, and trust you. And that doesn't come overnight. It's something that has to be worked on over a little bit of time. Fortunately, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for internet marketing, the time involved in that is a lot shorter than a lot of other businesses. So.
Yeah, it seems to me to be like if you're able to focus and you're able to do the right things, success can come to you relatively quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, a little bit of success just makes it even easier to have more success because the mindset has totally changed and you see that it's possible. And it's amazing how excited you can get just by having a little bit of success, you know, and that excitement translates into more action and just a lot more positive things happening. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, once you came back then to internet marketing, what happened then? What did you decide to do, and how did that proceed from there?
Um, well, I decided to get it back into internet marketing because the job that I got in 2012 and still have was internet and is internet marketing based. I do social media and online promotions for an HR company here in Victoria. And so I'm working on social media and doing internet marketing 5 days a week during my day job anyway. And I started to get a little more confidence and a little more skill set, a little more of a skill set under my belt. I felt my writing had improved and my ability to kind of promote and speak more confidently in a sales mode improved as well. And so I started to look around and figure out whether or not I wanted to create a product again. And I decided the answer was yes. So I got back in late last year, or middle of last year.
Okay. So now your ideas for excuse me, trying to make money creating products and selling those versus other methods that people use. Why did you decide on that method?
Um, I liked I like product creation because I like to create. I write for my day job. I enjoy writing. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy making audios. And I also like teaching. I like showing people how to do things, helping them get things done. It's satisfying for me to see other people succeed when I'm helping them. And so I thought product creation and coaching would be a good space for me to be in the internet marketing niche.
I see. For me, I got into product creation, and I think it's important to tell people is I believe that it's the best way to make money online as opposed to other ways. You know, I've been in online marketing for about 3 years, and like most people, I've bought my share of courses and I've tried various things. And my major thing that I was doing for a while was SEO, and you know, I actually ranked some sites and it did pretty well. But the Google algorithm change, one of those hit, and I lost all my rankings. And I've heard so many people go through that, and there were people that actually lost quite a bit of income when they lost rankings. I myself didn't lose a lot of income because my sites weren't making a lot of money at the time. But you know, you just hear all the frustrations, and I knew there had to be a better way. And you know, I did SEO for probably at least 2 years, maybe a little bit more of that. And after that, I decided to the product creation. You don't have to depend on Google or anyone else. It's pretty much your own. The only person you can blame for not success is yourself, really. You can't blame anything else out there. And I like that idea especially. So it seems to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you talk to other internet marketing gurus or the people that have made a lot of money, they've all done this method to make a majority of their money. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I would say that a lot of people do go the product creation route in order to earn the income for themselves. I have a feeling, I could be wrong on this too, but I have a feeling that there are SEO guys and gals and there are CPA guys and gals and there are super affiliates that earn a ton of money every month and they just don't say anything to anybody, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's the people like you and me that don't mind kind of being out there, being showing their face, getting themselves out there, that tend more towards product creation because we're, to a greater or lesser extent, comfortable with the attention or the limelight that might attract.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the SEO course that I belong to, and I still belong to it, is Bring the Fresh, which
Mm,
some people listening might know of that course or might not. I highly recommend that course for anyone. It's a great SEO course, and I have bought other SEO courses, but that one to me is one of the best. And the best thing about it is they're constantly updating what works and what doesn't. And with SEO, that's very important. Now, the creator of that course, Kelly Felix, he has made a lot of money with SEO, but dozens or hundreds of sites later. It's a lot of websites it takes to make quite a bit of money. But he created a product to make a lot of his money. He created Bring the Fresh, that SEO course. So even though you have an SEO guy making money ranking websites, a lot of his money comes from a course he created. So he's
yeah,
also a product creator. So
yeah,
there you
exactly.
go.
I
So
think there's a certain amount, if I can just to kind of, add something. I think there's a lot of people that, in addition to making all of that money, and not saying much about it, at a certain point, it seems to me a lot of people, they make a certain amount of money and they realize that just making the money isn't enough. And then they want to take on students and they want to help other people become
mhm.
successful because it feels good to do that. So,
It does. And people can say all they want about coaching programs and how people are just trying to get all the money they can from customers. But there's really nothing better in life than helping other people. And that's a general thing in any part of your life. And
totally.
so it really is true that helping other people make money online is one of the best satisfactions you can have. So,
Hmm.
so yeah. So, let's see. I did have another question before we get on to the next section, but I can't remember it, but that's okay.
Okay.
Uh, so, how did you come up with your product for your first product then?
How did
Product
I come up
idea, the
with
product
the idea?
idea.
Well, I've always been interested in CPA, cost per action marketing. The idea that I can get paid by somebody not necessarily buying something, but simply by, entering their email address or filling out a form or, that's downloading a game or something like that. It seemed to me like a really low barrier for me to get paid.
Hmm.
And from my background in social media, I figured, well, let's match up a social media platform that's really, really popular with a tried and true method of monetization or earning money. Did some research, hunted around, noticed on Instagram on the platform that I'm using in this product that it's already being done, and it's being done with a lot of different offers in a lot of different ways.
Mm.
I wanted to make it relatively simple for a brand new marketer to learn how to do, so I picked CPA, and I just put it together, tested it, made sure that it worked, and packaged it up and sold it.
And the product is called
Instagram Cash Machine.
Instagram Cash Machine. And
Yeah.
from what you just said, I know about it, but just describe it to other people. Just like you said, it's a way to make money by placing ads on Instagram for CPA offers, right?
Yeah, you're not necessarily placing an ad, but you're creating a profile that's centered around a CPA offer, and then you're driving traffic to it and converting through the actual profile itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and CPA, I know you just described it, but for instance, all they have to do is enter their zip code or fill out a form and you get paid. They don't have to actually buy anything. And that's the advantage to CPA. People don't have to spend money for you to get a commission, which I think is a really neat idea. Of course, you don't get as much commission because they're not buying anything, but it's still a way to make money. So.
It is. And I didn't, I've never pitched this product as, thousands of dollars every day. I've pitched it as, if you've never made money before, you can make your first few bucks a day by this method.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess this will be a good time to go into how you launched the product. And I know that it got it got the
Deal of the day.
Warriors The product of the day. What is it called again? I can't think of the name.
Depending on who you talk to, it's either called WSO of the day,
That's
which
right.
is
That's
what
right.
it used to be called. Now on Warrior Forum, we're probably going to have to refer to it as Deal of the Day because of the Warrior Forum changes. So,
Yes, yes, I
yep.
read about that. So, yeah, the WSO of the day. So that's a good accomplishment. It's quite an accomplishment, especially for your not first product, but your first product since re-entering the market. So, what changed? How did that product end up doing that where the others didn't?
I think a couple of things. I think the first big thing that we need to address is that I found a coach that would guide me through the process.
Hmm.
And I hooked up with a coach that had risen really, really quickly within in the Warrior Forum community. Within 6 months, he was doing very, very well. He was obviously very passionate, and so I connected with him, and we decided to map out a 30-day plan. And it was about launching a product. And now I had, no idea of the result, but looking back, I can say that that was definitely the biggest piece for me for my success.
Hmm. Yeah, I like most people, you start out and you think you can do it on your own, and you try this and you try that, and but there's so many little pieces that you don't really know that a lot of courses don't tell you. Little things, and a lot of times you have to be resourceful and just try to figure things out, the little things that happen. But wouldn't it be nice to have a mentor where you didn't have to do that? You could just go and ask them a question and they could tell you. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
just such a good idea. So that was one of your biggest factors then in having a success now versus the other ones. So can you go into the steps that you took in order to make that a success? Is that okay to do, or?
Yeah, I can talk, definitely. And I think when Saul and I got together, it was, we're going to create a product. Here are the areas that you want to focus on. And we kind of, put together a list of things that are popular sellers on the Warrior Forum. And I found, a couple of areas that I could put together, and we had talked about how I put together the idea of the product before. That came from the list that we worked on together, finding things that were hot to sell. From there, I put the product together. I came up with the name. I ordered some graphics for it, and then I created the product and tested it to make sure that it worked. So I kind of put that in the wrong order, actually. I tested the method to make sure that it would work, and then I created the product and the graphics and the name and everything to go around it. And then after that, we started setting up our web pages. So we had to set up, we had to get our sales copy, we had to get our download pages, our one-time offer pages, our JV pages. We had to put those together. I'm comfortable in setting up pages in a WordPress environment because of my job. I'm comfortable with creating sales pages, making them look decent, because I have had experience with that before. So that's something technical that not a lot of people have. Lots of people do have it, but not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then once everything was set up, and we had chosen a launch date, then it was all about reaching out to affiliates and meeting affiliates, suggesting to affiliates that they might want to take a look at this product, they might want to promote it, sending out review copies, posting on joint venture groups within Facebook, posting on Warrior Plus, and then getting the Warrior Plus funnel set up,
Mm-hmm.
which is a back-end kind of shopping cart system that allows you to sell your products online, automatically, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So after the product was created for me and the back-end kind of funnel was set up in Warrior Forum, the sales funnel, for me it was all about reaching out and making relationships and promoting the launch, talking to people, making sure that people that were interested in promoting for the launch got what they needed to get, whether that be review copies or that sort of thing, getting testimonials for the product so that I could post them to generate a little bit of buzz for the product and for the launch. and then on launch day, making sure everything worked technically, and emailing the JVs and saying we're ready to go, let's go, and then just making sure that everything flowed smoothly and that customers, that maybe bought but didn't get their copy, got their copy, that sort of thing, more
Hmm.
kind of customer service sort of
Hmm.
thing. Yeah, and that was launch day.
Yeah. And it all sounds to me like a fair amount of work, and it is. And
Mm-hmm.
just communicate to people that it isn't a push button type of thing. Internet marketing is not. It's going to take a little bit of work to get everything, done. But it's as a previous mentor of mine said, yes, it's a little bit of work, but it's not digging ditches.
No.
It's a lot easier than that, and it's so much more rewarding. So.
It's a steep learning curve, especially the 30 days that we put the window on ourselves for. So, you know, I was learning a lot of stuff really quickly, and so and there are lots of moving pieces. So
Yes.
it was really important for me to organize the workflow so that I kind of could stay on top of things.
Hmm.
But once you got it, you got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only a one-time learning curve, and after that, your second product's easier, and your third product's easier after that.
Hmm.
So,
And just the moving pieces, the
yes,
technical stuff
yes,
is easier. So,
yes.
yeah.
And one of the most important things I have learned, and you've just discussed, and most people don't realize, is getting affiliates to sell your product for you. A lot of people feel they can just post the thread on the Warrior Forum and the sales are just going to come in. And from what I understand, in the past, that might have been the case on the Warrior Forum, but not anymore. You really have to build relationships with those affiliates. And, that's really one of the keys to a successful product launch. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing for me, I mean, I had released a couple of WSOs in early 2011, back when, everybody says it was the glory days of the Warrior Forum. I probably sold a total of 20 copies
Yeah,
of
see,
both of
yeah,
those products. And it's because I didn't know about affiliates.
yes.
I had no clue. And so now I think affiliates are definitely necessary to have any kind of success.
It's so funny. I was the same way. I launched a product last winter and it didn't hardly do any sales, but it was because, like you said, I didn't know anything about affiliates. I just
Nope.
tried selling it on my own, and it's just really not the way to go. And that's another benefit with choosing the right coach. It seems like I've heard different coaches say different things. Some of them will offer to mail your offer or let their affiliates that they've already built relationships up with know about your product. And that is a huge advantage to having a coach that will do that because you have to start from scratch and people don't know you. I started contacting affiliates and emailing them or messaging them on Facebook, and I got I got responses like, "Well, I might promote for you, but I don't really know you." And
Hmm.
a lot of
Hmm.
people are going to think that way. So it's super important to have a coach that will introduce you to their affiliates. It's just a huge stepping stone forward, I feel. So, and that's one of the major reasons why I decided to get a mentor as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just being active, a mentor, even if that mentor says, I'm not going to introduce you to Bob and Jane and, Larry and Sally, just being active in that community, interacting with your coach and that circle publicly on Facebook,
yes,
in addition to the promotion that you're doing, is going to really, really kind of bring the spotlight over to you.
yes, yep, I agree. So I understand you're working on a new product. So you have one successful product launch, and now you're working on another one. What's that all
The
about? If you
goal is
can
to do
discuss it.
one a month,
Okay.
and this one is kind of early in the going, but it's going to be about email marketing, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, if you are doing products and list building and internet and product creation, you might as well stick with it. That's the thing we all know. So you might as well teach people that. So another thing I wanted to bring up, which was something I was going to mention earlier for people listening, product creation is part of the way to make money, but the main goal of product creation is to build a mailing list. And that's the main thing. that everybody strives for is to have a large mailing list of people that are buying, because once you have that mailing list, you can email them different offers again and again, and once people buy once, they're going to buy again. And so product creation, yes, it's good, but every time one product launch is done, you have to figure out what product will be your next product, and then after that, your next product. But once you get that list built up, it isn't, you can still create products, of course, but it isn't so much that as it is just keeping a good relationship with your list and promoting affiliate products. So, correct, that's correct?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that yeah.
Do you have any ideas for what are the obstacles that you had to overcome with the product launch, or some difficulties that you had to figure out?
Technically, for me, it was a couple of different things. Time management, because I work a 5-day-a-week job. I was getting up early in the morning and going to bed a little later at night to get my internet marketing work done. So time management's been really important, and with that, making sure that I have enough time for the other things in my life, like my marriage, and getting, stuff around the house done, getting some time, just to get outside and to breathe some air, to interact with other people, those sorts of things. Staying balanced has been really important to me. And then technically learning, how to set up the funnel in Warrior Plus. Learning how to make the sales page on Warrior Forum look good and managing the code that way. Learning how to, engage with affiliates and learn about affiliates. Customer service, after the product was bought, people were coming to me with questions, and I
That's a
needed
lot
to
of
be able
things
to.
people don't think about. When you're creating products, you have to have some type of customer service. There's going to be questions. You'll probably get some refunds, all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there.
that's all right, no problem. Customer service is really, really important.
Yeah.
When people come to you with questions, you need to be able to answer those questions. You need to be able to do it in a relatively quick fashion.
Yeah.
People are looking for instant gratification these days, and so if you let your customer service slack, then you're going to start getting badmouthed.
Yeah. Now, how do you handle your customer service? Do you do it yourself?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I only have, I only have the one product out there, so it's at this point it's simple for me to go in once a day and answer customer questions.
Did you get a lot of feedback on the Warrior Forum thread for your product? In other words, having to answer a lot of posts on the Warrior Forum?
There's been a few. I think I've probably got about 80 or 90 posts now there in total on the Warrior Forum. So I mean, it's not a ton. It's not as big as some others.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I think that's about it, Nathan. I don't really have any other questions. You've described your product. You've described how it got to WSO of the day, and do you mind mentioning how many sales you've done to this point as far as numbers, or is that something?
Yeah, I don't have the figures in front of me, but I believe the last time I looked, it was a little over 1,000, like around 1,040 or 1,050 or something like that.
So that sounds real good. What is considered a success for a product launch? Is there a specific range to go for?
I really am not sure what other people say. I know that when I started with this product, in my mind, the goal was to sell 100 to 150 copies. I was going to be happy with that because it was my first launch in a long time. I didn't know anything about how much traffic affiliates would bring me.
Yeah.
So selling 10 times what I expected to or hoped to is pretty amazing to me, pretty mind-blowing, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
Yeah. I think myself, I've always thought 500 would be something to shoot for. I know another product launcher who sold 150 and wasn't very happy with that. And so I thought 500 would be good. So 1,000 just sounds phenomenal. You don't see a lot of product launches doing over 1,000. There are some, but not a huge amount. So that seems to make you in the top percentage, I would say.
Well, in the Warrior Forum, it's very interesting because I mean, we all talk about our sales figures, but if you go kind of the level sort of strata above, so to speak, I have no clue what those people's numbers are, but I'm sure they're huge.
Yes,
so
yes,
yeah.
yes. All right, well, I think that's about it, Nathan. So it's good talking with you. I'm glad for your success. It's really nice to hear when someone just starting out has a success, and I wish you a lot more success. I'm sure you will, especially because of your mentor, you know. So I think that was a good key, and I think everybody should look into that. And you know, it might be a little expense up front, but it's so worth it in the end. It's so worth it.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, or you think you need guidance, then find a mentor. It's
Yeah,
really, make sure that they know what they're doing, make sure that they're hungry, and that they'll motivate you in the way that you need.
yeah,
And I recommend it fully.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. All right, well, good talking with you. Again, thanks for the call, and much success in your future.
thanks, Tony. Continued success to you
All
too,
right,
man.
thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers. Nathan's first product, Instagram Cash Machine, is no longer available. However, his latest product, an email marketing course called The Magic Email, is. So click the link below the video. It's a great course, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.